Yo, we back. That ain't rap podcast. Subscribe to the channel, like and share. It's your boy Triborough. Back with another collection vid. I haven't done this in a while. I was thinking about doing this a couple of days ago. Shout out to the homie Reg for the inspiration. I'm like, I did a vinyl collection vid a couple of years ago. I do my vinyl pickups and my unboxings. I'm like, let me, hit that heads off with something different. So I wanted to do a CD collection type of vid, with just talking about the Digipaks I've collected over the years and those type of albums in that CD formation. I've never seen nobody do that. So I'm like, this I can knock this out real quick. You know, um I got a lot of Digipack albums over the years from different artists, Lloyd Banks, Havoc from Mobb Deep and Mac Miller and various other artists. So I was like, it'd be cool to show the people collection albums. This will be part one. I got a part two coming up because I do have a lot. I'll probably show like about 15 today, and for part two, I'll show like maybe 10 others or whatever. If I get a lot of likes and comments for a part two, then I'll do a part two. But yeah, I was like, laying in my bed the other day, I was like, yo, let me do a CD collection vid of some of my digipacks I've gotten over the years. Even recently up until last year. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna do like 15. I'm gonna start off today with 2020. This release, Benny the Butcher, Hit Boy, Burden of Proof on Empire, Griselda Records. Shout out to Benny. Shout out to the whole Griselda and you know Black Soprano family. This was a fire ass album. I enjoyed it. Loved the production of Hit Boy. It was great. Benny had his bars. Every track is a banger to me. Definitely enjoyed it. Some of my favorite tracks would be Where Would I Go with Rick Ross. We had One Way Flight with Freddie Gibbs. Um Traded All was fire. War Paint with West Side Gun and Conway. This was definitely a banger, man. I definitely enjoyed it. Loved the album cover. Let's see the Black Soprano family logo on the CD. Definitely a fire ass album. I got this recently too. This was like I think November I got this. Maybe November, December I got this. And once I heard it when it dropped, I was like, yo, I gotta get this on CD. And Amazon had it for like $9. I think it was like $9.95 on Amazon, and I had to get it. I'm like, yo, this is dope. One of the best albums in recent memory. One of the best Hit Boy produced albums. He's gone off to do his great stuff with Nas and other artists, but I think people forget about this album, man. This was a great one. Classic, modern day classic, in my opinion. Burden of Proof. Then we got next up we got what year was this? I think 2011. Boot Camp Click release Smith and Wesson and Pete Rock collabo album Monumental. I love this album. I love Pete Rock. Pete Rock is like my favorite producer all time. I've said it many times on different platforms, even on here. Him and Primo, my two favorite producers all time. I love this album, man. This was a banger from Pete and Smith and Wesson, and just having, you know, a great duo from Brooklyn, like Tech and Steel, having a bars put with Pete Rock, you know, boom bap jazzy production was phenomenal. Loved it. We had a lot of collabs on here. You had a joint with Black Rob, rest in peace. I'm a stand up guy. That was one of my favorites. You had the joint with Sean P, rest in peace. That's hard. with Styles. Styles Speed was also on that joint. You had Nighttime with Buckshot. Pete Rock is also rapping on that. What else you had on here? Um, the Roses joint with Freeway. That was my joint. Definitely love that song. And they talking about, if you miss somebody, say you love them before it's too late. Don't wait to give them the flowers after they gone. And that was a joint. That was the joint right there. The Roses joint. Freeway killed it. Shout out to Freeway. State property. But definitely a solid collabo album. I love a lot of the Pete Rock albums he's done with different artists. Camp Low, 80 Blocks on Tiffany's was a fire album. Don't Smoke Rock with Smoke Dizza, great album. You know, he's definitely good at those collab albums. You know what I'm saying? And this is definitely one of the best ones he's done, in my opinion. Definitely a solid album. Shout out to Boot Camp Click, Smith and Wesson, Pete Rock, Monumental from 2011. Love the album cover. You know, definitely a banger. Then we got another collabo album. This one was, I believe this was 2018. I want to say 2017, 2018, something like that. I don't see the year on here. I think it was 2018. This came out. Apollo Brown and Joel Ortiz, Mona Lisa. A great album. Boom bap producer from Detroit, Apollo Brown. He's another producer that I love his collabo albums. He has like a whole series of them with the Easy Truth with Sky Zoo, classic album. You had Trophies he did with OC a couple years ago, classic album. Um, he had an album he did with Stally that was banging. I think it's called Blacklight. That came out maybe last year, year before last. Banger. He has a lot of great albums. He did an album with Rascast that was great. Um, he did a boom bap R&B album with Raheem Devon that was solid. A lot of people slept on that, but this one is one of my favorites, man. With Mona Lisa joined with Joel Ortiz, Brooklyn MC, from Slaughterhouse, and yeah, me and the homie Reg did a review on this. Shout out to him. Check that review on his channel. This was a banger. That a lot of it, like the track was banging. You had that place. You had decisions. Brushstrokes. I love his jazzy melodies and love some bars and it just fit well together. Like Apollo Brown really knows how to do these collab albums and pick the right producers to do these albums with. This was phenomenal. Definitely a classic album. I love the album cover. It has like a real shiny gloss to it as well. You know, that fire right there. Love that artwork. You know, yeah. So yeah, if you didn't check this out, check it out. Mona Lisa, Joel Ortiz, Apollo Brown, classic. Our next Digipack is we discussed this artist recently. One of his albums we discussed. It was the Good AM album, and this artist was phenomenal. I loved all of his albums, and he was one of the best of the last decade. He's no longer here. Um, Lisa Miller. This is Swimming from 2018. Warner Brothers Records. One of his best albums. One of his last projects. Unfortunately, it was the first of a trilogy with and supposedly the third album for the trilogy never happened, but Maybe one day we'll get it still. I don't know. But this was a phenomenal album. Love the production. It was R&B, it was hip hop, it was a little trappy, but definitely a real melodic project from Mac. And you had Hurt Feelings was produced by J. Cole on this album. You had Snoop Dogg was on here. I think Robert Glass was on here. Bad Bad Not Good. Definitely some dope ass collabs on this project, and it was real melodic. Ladders was a banger. Self Care, that was the first single. Jet Fuel, um, just a real melodic project. Really, you can throw this on and just zone out with it, and I love it. I think it's a classic, one of his best projects. Wish we had gotten that trilogy, but Circles was good too. That's another great album, and yeah, man. This is definitely a great album. I love the design for the Digipack with the piano, and I look like some shrimp or tofu or something on the keys. I don't know, but definitely a solid album, and he will be missed. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. Next Digipack, I got this is more on the pop side. This is an artist that I never listened to. He was in a group, never listened to him, and no, it's not Justin Timberlake. Somebody else from a boy band that I didn't listen to. But when he came out with his I believe this is his second solo album. I slept on his first one, but his second solo album, this is definitely made me a fan of him. This is Harry Styles, Fine Line. Harry Styles from One Direction. They blew up and they did their thing on the boy band tip, and he was the first. I believe he was the first to go solo, or was thing, but this is my Wi-Fi acting up. But yeah, this is a solo effort, and I enjoyed it. Definitely a banger. You had the big hits, Watermelon Sugar, Adore You. What else was on here? Cherry was a fire track. Sunflower Volume 6. Definitely a great pop album, real melodic. Harry Styles did his thing on the singing. Production was fire. I really enjoyed this joint. I love the artwork as well, like the artwork for the digipack and the book. The booklet is like real colorful. He's wearing like different colorful outfits. You see on the back cover of the booklet, and this is the front cover of it. Many different pictures in here from Harry, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, man, this was definitely a banging album. I remember I posted this up on Instagram a couple years ago, and somebody hit me up and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you was into Harry Styles. You got like a eclectic taste, but I like different things, man. So can't all just be about hip hop every day. I might wake up and I might want to hear some, alternative rock or some, reggae or some jazz or something. So it ain't just about hip hop over here. So definitely a banging album. I gotta get his recent one. His recent one was just as good as well. And yeah, Harry Styles, Fine Line, one of his best albums so far in his solo career. Check it out. Put this back. Um, and we got Lenny Kravitz. Yes, Lenny Kravitz. One of his more recent albums from 2018 on the BMG Roxy label. What it's called? Raise Vibration. Not one of his best. I did listen to it. I listened to this like at least once or twice. I remember he had a trappy type of R&B song here. I'll always be Inside Soul. I think that was the the last song on the album. It was like real, had like a trappy beat. It was different, something different than Lenny tried, but you know what you pretty much gonna get from Lenny when it comes to his albums, and you're gonna get that rock and roll soul, you know. And he has a great voice. He's always been a great guitarist as well, and I liked a couple songs. Not a classic album, but just to hear something from one of your favorite artists, and something new from them is always good too. So check this out: Raise Vibration, Lenny Kravitz, 2018. And my next one is Frank Ocean, Channel Orange, classic album. To me, is one of the best R&B albums of the last decade, in my opinion. Um, I really enjoyed this album from front to back, and the melodic production and the singing from Frank Ocean. He definitely has his own lane. He has his own voice. I don't think anyone sounds like him. Thinking About You, classic track produced by Pharrell. You had Lost, you had Pyramids. Um, what was another joint? Pink Matter with Andre 3000. You had John Mayer playing on the guitar on that joint. Um, Sweet Life. Every song here was fire. I discovered Frank Ocean off of YouTube. Just one day, just being on YouTube and listening to different music, and discovered a lot of his mixtape stuff back then when he was doing like Nostalgia Ultra and the Dream Killer mixtape and all that, and just a dope artist, man. I wish he would release more records, more albums. Definitely need some new Frank Ocean music. But yeah, we did a review on this on Reg's channel. Check it out. It was a great review, great album. I know Frank won like a couple of Grammys for this album. It has a bonus track with Tyler the Creator also, and I hope that whole Odd Future gang definitely got a lot of talent. From Tyler to Frank, the Earl Sweatshirt, and I definitely I'm a fan of their stuff. So shout out to them. Frank Ocean, Channel Orange, 5 Night Classic. Check it out. Next up, we got an album, another collab album. This is from, I want to say this is what year was this? I be forgetting the years sometimes on these albums. I think it was 2018 also. This is Sting and Shaggy, 44876. Um Definitely a different type of album. It's more like reggae, dancehall, soul, I want to say. You had Sting's vocals over a lot of like reggae production with Shaggy coming in with his raspy dancehall voice, and they definitely have like some chemistry. I don't know how they started the group. I know they've done stuff before, but they end up. I think they won a Grammy for this album as well. Um, but it's definitely a dope album, and I wouldn't expect them to collaborate for a whole album together, but it worked. I know they're supposed to be doing another album together. Um, I love the photo, the inside photo with them just chilling, and this is a dope album. Like if you like a mix of like pop, dancehall, soul, this is the album. You know, definitely Sting been doing this since he was since he left the police and went solo. He's been collaborating with artists like this, and I think for them to do a whole album together and it's successful, that's dope. And it's sort of like it reminded me of Distant Relatives with Nas and Damian Marley. That was a nice collabo album too, like a reggae dance, like a dancehall rap album collab. That was, I guess maybe they were inspired by Distant Relatives and they decided to do this album, but this was a good album. Definitely enjoyed it on In the Scope A&M Records. I gotta play this more. I've only played it like twice, but I remember when it came out and they were doing the promotional stuff for the album. I think they did a little tour for the album as well. You know, but yeah, Sting and Shaggy 44 876. Check it out. Um, Next one is an artist from London, female artist by the name of Little Sims. So album called Gray Area, and she sings and she raps. She her style reminds me of Lauryn Hill. She has a Lauryn Hill esque type of vibe to her when she raps and when she sings, and you know she's blown up now. Like that, this album, like when I got this album, I remember posting it on Instagram. A lot of people didn't even know who the hell she was. Now she's like a huge star overseas, and she's done a little acting. I've seen her in there's a Netflix series called Top Boy. Executive produced by Drake, and she was on I think she was on season 5, maybe. I think up to like season 5. She might have been on season 4, season 5. And she done a little acting, and I saw her on Coachella a couple years ago, and I think she was doing some songs off of this album actually. This came out in this was like, what year was this? Um, I forgot the year, but yeah, she did some songs. She did some songs from this album, and I was like, yo, like she's dope. Like I liked her performance at Coachella. I'm like, I had to check her out, and bought the album off of Amazon, and it's definitely a banger. Love the production, love her rhymes, and she sings a little bit on the chorus and stuff. And this is definitely a banging album. For people that don't know Little Sims, check her out. She got some amazing music out as well. As, a lot of people mention Rhapsody, and they talk about Shay Noah, but they don't mention Little Sims because I think it's because she's from overseas, and sometimes it takes a while for the overseas artists to break into America, and but she's dope. Definitely check her out. She has like a neo soul, hip hop vibe going on about her, and I love her music. So shout out to Little Sims. Next up, I got another collab. A lot of collab albums here. Another collab album with a group, Mayor Hawthorne and the producer Jake One. They hooked up and they did a group called Tuxedo, and this is the second album from them, Tuxedo Part Two. Definitely a banger on Stone Store Records. Um, what year was this? I know I want to say this was in 2016, 2017, but this was definitely a banging album. I remember first hearing it and having you know uploading it to my iPod back then, and just phenomenal album. Like it's more like they're more like a funk band, funk group. And Mayor Hawthorne, he's done a lot of stuff on Stone Stove as a singer. You know, Jake One, he's a super producer, done a lot of stuff for Nipsey Hussle and for G Unit and Freeway, and he actually did an album with Freeway, the Stimulus Package, back in I think that was 2010. Him and Freeway, great album together. And yeah, and he also did the John Cena anthem entrance, and I didn't even know that until I was watching his YouTube channel. Snare Jordan, that's his nickname, Snare Jordan, and he does like these little videos about how he created a beat for different artists, and he actually did the beat for John Cena's entrance music. The time is now, and I didn't even know that. In all these years, I've been going to these wrestling shows and seeing John Cena and hearing the music, and not even knowing it was Jake One that did that beat. That's crazy. But he told a story about how he produced the John Cena beat, and I think think Vince McMahon didn't want to pay him for the beat or something like that. And yeah, I love like his little beat videos where he talks about how he created the beat for the artist, and check it out on YouTube. Snare Jordan, great album. Tuxedo, he had Fucks with the Tux was a banger. You had a rotational, my favorite special. Really, really, sound like a really funk R&B type of track. I believe Snoop Dogg is on Fucks with the Tux. I want to say he's on one of these tracks. I think it's Fucks with the Tux he's on. Really has like a real funk disco 70s type of vibe to it. I always love this albums. They have a couple albums out as well. But yeah, this one's my favorite. Tuxedo Part Two, Stone Store Records. Check it out. Um, and I got Havoc, his first solo album on Nature Sounds. This is the Kush. I believe this was '06. I think it was. I'm gonna say. I remember getting this. I got it like just shopping one day. I didn't even hear nothing from the album, but I said, "Oh, it's Havoc. He got a solo album coming out. Let me get it." Always been a Mobb Deep fan. Love Mobb Deep. Rest in peace, Prodigy. And it's pretty good. Got some good songs in here. It's not a classic, but there's some bangers on here. I'm the Boss. That was a single. Fire joint. You had what's the other joint I like on Be There. Be There was a banger. You had Prodigy on Set Me Free. That was a banger. Um yeah, it's Prodigy and Nice, and I believe Nice Havoc did a album with Nice like a year ago. Check that out. You know, you had what else on here? By My Side was banging. So this was a decent solo effort by Havoc. On his own, and he had a couple more albums out. But this is like his first one on Nature Sounds Records, and I enjoyed it. I don't see too many people like post up about this or mention it, but it was pretty decent. Love the nice little layout here. I have it. You can see that right there. It's fire, but yeah, the Kush. Definitely check it out. It's probably out of print now. 'Cause I know it came out in the 2000s, like '06, '07. So if you can get your hands on it, definitely check it out. Shout out to Havoc. Then we did a review on this. Shout out to Reg again. We did a review on this album. Earl Sweatshirt, Doris. To me, his best album, classic album. Love the production. I'm a huge fan of Odd Future, Wolfgang, Tyler and Earl, Haji Beats and Frank Ocean and that whole crew. Um, it was definitely a banger, definitely a classic album, and having Vince Staples on a couple of joints and Mac Miller. He had Alchemist do a joint on there for him. RZA's on was it the molasses joint? RZA's on that joint. My favorite joint was Chum. Chum, I remember Chum, and I told the story on the review too. I remember for the TV show, they had a TV series for The Exorcist, and it only lasted 2 seasons. I remember one of the episodes there was like a kid on a bike, and I believe like the kid was like uh riding his bike home, and he ended up being possessed by the devil, and the song they actually played in that episode in the background when you hear it is Chum. I just thought that was dope, like just to hear like a Earl Sweatshirt song on a major TV network like Fox for The Exorcist. Exorcist, classic horror film, my favorite horror film of all time, and I just thought that was dope just to hear like a Earl Sweatshirt song on a TV show like for The Exorcist, and that was always been my favorite track, and you had Sasquatch was fire. You had Hive, you know, definitely a banging album. I love the album cover. And even like the I know y'all can't really feel the texture of this digipack, but it has like a real soft, um almost like a, I don't want to say like a rubber. It's almost like a rug type of feel to it. Like it feels like it's almost like velour or something to it. I love the pictures as well, and definitely, you know, Columbia Records, they definitely nailed it with the digipack for this. You know what I'm saying? Just phenomenal. But even the album cover looks kind of creepy. You got crosses in the back on the wall, and Earl is has his eyes closed. He almost look like he's possessed or something. And definitely love this album. Like I said, I think it's his best album. Probably my classic. That could be debatable to a lot of people. But yeah, great album. Shout out to Earl. I'm gonna do like three more. You got this joint was 1995. You got nine, you know, underground artist. You had the joints, you had the big hit single "What You Want." What else was on here? He had Red Rum. I remember that joint on here. Um, what else was on here that he had? He had some bangers on here. The production was fire. I love this album cover with the cat eyes. I used to see this album cover a lot in stores and on posters and stuff around the city. Nine, he's still doing his thing. He's still dropping heat, and I'm like, yo, like this is an album. This album was actually given to me as a gift, but I definitely been wanting this album for years, and I'm glad I finally have it in my collection, and it's definitely banger. Nine is so slept on. A lot of people don't talk about him. I think we might need to do a review on this. I don't know. I don't believe we did a review on his album yet, but that might be something that me and Rich gonna have to do. But definitely a fire album, great underground hip hop, boom bap. I know this album is out of print. It goes for like a lot of money, I believe, especially like there's like different versions of the album too. And this is the digipack for it. But yeah, check this out. Nine lives. This one I still haven't opened it. This is Prince, Welcome to America. As you can see, the hype stickers on it I still have it in the wrap. I haven't opened it yet. Um, this came out in 2021, and so supposedly Prince had did this album years ago, and he had a tour planned for it, and scrapped the tour, and the album was just sitting in his vault. And they waited till after he passed away to release it, and it speaks to these times. I might have to open this album like this week and play it just based off of like the bullshit that's going on in this country with police brutality and the recent events in Tennessee. I might have to like really open this album up and play it. Because this is an album I kept hearing about this album when it came out. It's an album that speaks to you know this the society that we live in now, and you know um Prince was all for that. So just looking at some of the album titles, I mean some of the song titles here: stand up and be strong, same page, different book. Um, the title track, Welcome to America, Born to Die. Just looking at some of the album titles here, the song titles, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely an album I'm gonna have to play this week, this upcoming week, because I just been feeling real shitty about the stuff going on in society, and it's the same bullshit happening to our people, and enough is enough already. So yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely check this album out. Prince, Welcome to America, the Great Purple One, rest in peace. Prince Rogers Nelson. I'm gonna definitely open this joint up on this week. So put this to the side right here. I'm gonna do one more. Um, let me see. I got a whole bunch here I didn't even show y'all, but I'm gonna wait for part two. Maybe I'll do a part two to this. But I'm gonna do the last one here. I actually did an album review on this like maybe 2 years ago on my channel. DJ Muggs and Ill Bill, Kill Devil Hills, a great collab album. DJ Muggs is another producer that I love a lot of his collab albums that he's done over the years with he did an album with Planet Asia, Pain Language. He did an album with um who else what's the other album? Sick Jackin'. I forgot the name of that Sick Jackin' album. I think it was called The Legend and the Assassin or something. Sick Jackin', that album was fire. He's done albums with Little Ito, with Rock Marcy. The Chaos album was a classic, one of my favorites. He's done a lot of new albums with like some of the newer artists from this era, and I love that, and it sounds banging. But this is one of my favorites. Ill Bill, Nonfiction, La Coca Nostra, all that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely enjoy this album, and a lot of great collabs on here with Sean Price, rest in peace, and Raekwon was on this. You got Slain, you got Everlast, Be Real from Cypress Hill, Chase Infinite. Um, OC was on this album, Vinny Paz. I loved a lot of the songs on here. Chase Manhattan. That's the joint with Raekwon. That was fire. You had Skull and Guns. That was Slain with Everlast. Um, Giant Stadium with Q Unique. That was a banger. Just a lot of great boom bap, horrorcore type of hip hop right here. Some hard shit, some street shit. That's the type of music you get from Muggs, and I loved it. I think it was well produced by Muggs, Ill Bill, one of the illest underground lyricists. You know, Brooklyn's finest. You know what I'm saying? And even the album cover, I love the album cover with the owl. And there's actually an area in North Carolina named Devil Hills, and I didn't know that until I was like doing some research on the album and all that when I did the review. And yeah, it's actually a place in North Carolina called Devil Hills, and that's dope. It just sounds real. It sounds evil and spooky, and I love the design for the CD. You don't see that here with the CD artwork, the owl, and you got the booklet here, and it's fire. Definitely enjoy this album, and yeah, man, this is one of my favorites from Muggs and Ill Bill. You know, Kill Devil Hills, and I'm gonna end it off with that, and you know, that was part one of my Digipack collection of albums in my collection. I have a lot more. Maybe I'll do a part two. If I get a lot of views for this and comments, I'll do a part two for this. It was definitely fun doing this, and like I said, I was inspired by Reg, and seeing his CD update collection, his CD recap vids, and all the classic stuff that he has in his collection. I'm like, yo, let me do something like that. I have many albums on CD that I could show, and I said, I'm gonna start with the Digipaks, and then go from there. But this is definitely fun, and let me know in the comments if you all checked out any of these albums, if you all got these albums in your collection. If you want me to do a part two, I'll do a part two for this. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. I got more stuff coming. Just doing some different things for the new year on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Still music related, some stuff, but other things are going to be more into other stuff that I like. Like fashion and wrestling and comics and all that. I'm going to be doing more stuff on like more content like that on this channel, and just stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun year, and salute to everybody. Peace.